Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. In this video we'll be talking about, or our topic is transformation geometry, and this chapter is found in our textbooks under shape and space geometry, but on our playlist you'll find it under Cartesian plane because we are drawing our shapes and dots and plotting our dots and graphs on our Cartesian planes. So transformation means a change in something. So we're going to look at our first transformation, which is the translation. So a translation is a horizontal or vertical slide from one position to another. But the object translated doesn't change its shape or size. So it never changes its shape or size. So let me just give you a quick example. So we can have a square that has each side is 1 centimeter each, and then you find on that same Cartesian plane there is another square but it's slightly bigger. Then so let me just circle it. So this square here is not translated to that because those are two different sizes. The shapes are the same but the sizes are different. So in order for us to say a point or shape or a graph has been translated, it still needs to have the same shape and the same size. So let's have a look at a quick example. So translating points in the Cartesian plane, we're going to start off by translating individual points, and then we are going to get to translating whole shapes. So in this example we have A right there, and when a shape, so let me just go back to the previous slide. When we have a point, let's say for example A, and is translated, then we usually just label the translated point of A with a small line on top, straight line on top. So that's how we indicate that this A here, which has a straight line on top, is the translation of that A, and this A here, so the A in yellow, is the original point. So let's have a look at our first example. So we have A 1 to 5, right? So 1 right there, I don't know if you can see my arrow, but 1 to 5, and then we have A with a stroke, or translated A 6 to 1. So let me just correct that quickly because that's a 6 to 1. Or we can make it easier by just shifting the point to 4 to 1. So 4 to 1. So somewhere there, that's where our point is. And so this is the original graph, the one that does not have the straight A, right? So that's our original point. Now let's find out how it got to 4.1. So let's see how it moved to get to this point here that I've just circled. So we can see that it moved downwards up until 1, right? So it moved down how many times? Let's quickly count that together. So let me use a different color so that we can see. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it moves 4 units down. So 4 units down. And then from there I'm going to use the red. So we have just looked at how it moved down or up. So it moved down 4 times, right? But then the point is not here where the red dot is. It moved also to the right. So from that point it moved how many times to the right? 1, 2, 3. So it moved 3 times to the right. So here, if we were to write the translation, we would write it as follows. So we'd say the point A moved 4 units down and 3 units to the right. And there's no rule that says or that tells us how we move from that point. So I just want to show you that even if we had moved to the right or left first and then moved down or up second, we would still get to the same point. So it does not matter the order you do that. So I just want to show you that even if we started moving, so let me use black in this case, from this point A in black, we moved to the left, to the right first. So 1, 2, 3. Then we moved down 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. It will still be 3 units to the right. So 3 units to the right and 4 units down. So it does not matter if you start with the vertical shift or the horizontal shift, you would still get the answer. Another thing I want to touch on is, so now we have our translation. I just want to show you that we could have translated the point A without looking at the graph. So you can translate the point A without the graph. So we had our A as 1, 2, sorry about that. So 1 to 5, right? And then we said we moved this point 3 units to the right. 3 units to the right. So left or right is the x-axis. If you can see that, if we are moving left or right, we are looking at the x-axis because that's where the horizontal number line is. So this is our x value. If you recall again, this is our x and this is our y. So if we say we moved 3 units to the right, and that's the positive side, that means we are taking the 1 and we are adding 3 to it. So 1 plus 3. And then we said with the y or vertical shift, we moved 4 units down, which means it's 5. And that 5 is, so we take away 4 from that 5 because we are moving down. And you'll see that our new point in yellow is going to be 1 plus 3 is 4 and 5 minus 4 is 1, and it's the same point as that one. So you can translate your point, you can give the translation of your point if given. So if you're given the translation and you don't need the graph. So let's have a look at our next example. We have the point P, which is this, or this one is the original one because the one that's translated always has a small line, straight line on top. So this is the translated one. So let's have a look how we got to this point here. So we can see that our point is to the right. Our point is on the right, so this side of the graph, right? So from here we have to move, somehow we have to move all the way that side. But I would say the easiest one is to move down first, but it's all according to the person. So we're going to move down. We're going to do it both ways. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we can see that our line is there. Let's just correct. Yeah, our line is there at -3, right? So how many times did we move downwards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you count the boxes from here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we moved 9 units downward, right? So let's quickly write that down. So we move 9 units down, but our point is not where my yellow dot is, right? It's on this side, so it's on the right of our yellow dot. This is our yellow dot, and our point that's translated is on the right of our yellow dot. So we keep moving up until we get to that point. So we want to see how we move from the original point. So we're going to move to the right. So now we're going to do the following: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so we move 10 units to the right. So that's how we got to the translated P. So 10 units to the right. Let me just quickly write that down. 10 units to the right. And that's how we got our translated P. And I want to show you again that we could have just looked at this. So if we're not given the graph, but we're given the point P circled in red and the translation also circled in red, and they tell us to find the translated point, we'll do the following. So we'd say P, and we say this is our X, that's our Y, and looking at this 9 units down, that's our Y movement because it's vertical, right? There's our Y right here, circled in red again. That's our Y. So whenever we move up or down, we're talking about this line Y. So this whole line Y that I am pointing at the moment. And when we move left or right, we're talking about X. So the X axis. So that's our X. So looking at our X, we have -6. So we write -6 quickly. And then we look at the movement for X, which is 10 units to the right. 10 units to the right, our right is on the positive side where my arrow is. So it's going to be a positive. So we're going to say -6 plus 10. And we're going to put our comma, and we're going to take the 6 we already had, and then we're going to say X6 plus, not plus, we look at where we are moving. So 9 units down, going downwards is negative, so we minus, so -9. And we get that our translated point in yellow again, so P with a straight line on top, -6 plus 10 is +4. And 6 minus 9 is -3. And that's how we get that point right there. So let's have a look at the next example. So in this example, we are given D and the translated D. So we are supposed to find the translation. So looking at this, I can see that this point only moved downward, right? Because we can't move left or right because that's not where the point is. The point is right beneath this D. So let's quickly find out how many units down did it go. So we're going to start at D, and we're going to say, we don't count D, we go to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it moved 5 units down. Let's write that down, 5 units down. And if we were given the 5 units down and we were given the point D circled in yellow, then how would we get our translated D? So we'd say D with the straight line on top. So that's 3, right? 3. And there's nothing that tells us about the X value. So the X did not change, so we leave it like that, and we put our comma, and our 6, we put it right there. Then it says we move 5 units down. 5 units down, as you can see, this part of the graph is negative. So when we move downwards, we subtract. So that's 6 minus 5, which is 1. So our translated D would be 3, 2, 1. And that's what we have right there for our translated D. So the one with the green tick. Let's have a look at the next example. So in this case, we're not given the translated A. We are asked to find the translated A. So in this case, you can use the graph or you can use your knowledge to get the translated A. So we are going to do it both ways so that you find the easier way and you stick to that. So translate A as follows: 3 units to the left, left meaning our left hand side, literally. So we are moving 3 units to the left, and that's 1, 2, 3. And from there we move 2 units up, so 1, 2. And that's where our new point is. And I'm going to put a red dot there. That's our A with the stroke. And our coordinate is 2, 2, 5. 2, 2, 5. And now let's find out how we would have gotten this A, translated A, if we did not use the graph. So it would be A, translated A. So we said to the left or right, that's our X. Up or down, that's our Y. So for our X, we had 5. And we move to the left. And if you can see, to the left is where the negative is, right? On our X-axis. So we minus what? We minus 3. And for our Y, we had 3, and we moved 2 units up. 2 units up meaning on our Y-axis, we move up using our Y-axis, and that's where our positive is. So we add, and we add 2. So our translated A will be 5 minus 3 is 2. 2. 3 plus 2 is 5, and that's our answer in this case. And you can see it matches that and this. So however you want to get the translated A, you're welcome to do so, because you still get the same answer. Now let's have a look at the next question. Translate B, 2 units right and 4 units down. If you feel you're comfortable at this point, just pause the video and then resume it when you think you've gotten the right answer or the correct answer. So we're going to translate this 2 units to the right. So to the right is that side. So 2 units, 1, 2. And 4 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where our point is. So our point is going to be right there. And that point is 5, 2, 0. Because our Y is 0, right? And so if we wanted to get our B, translated B, so we always name our point. So let's just do that. So if we wanted to get our B, we would do the following. So we'd say, for our X, we have 4. And we said we move it to the right, so that's plus. So that's plus 2. And we take our Y, which is also 4, and we move downward, so that's minus 4. And we get what? We get 4 plus 2 is 6. 4 minus 4 is 0. And I see I have just made a mistake right there. So this point B is not 4 to 4, is 3. Can you see that's 3? So this is supposed to be 3 to 4. But let's just rectify it by doing the following. So we're just going to move the point to what we label it to be. So our red dot is going to be at 4 to 4, and that's here. And if we move 2 times to the left, it's 1, 2, and we move downwards 4 times, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's our point right there. So this is supposed to be a 6 to 0, and that's correct. Let's have a look at our next question, which is our last question. So translate G as follows: 4 units right and 2 units up. So there's our point. 4 units to the right, which is this side of the graph. So this side of the graph, which is the positive side. So we are going to add. So we're going to say G. So translated G is equals to, our X is -4. And we said if we move right or left, that's our X. And if we moved up or down, that's our Y. And we said our first coordinate is X. So -4, we move to the right, that's +4. And then we have -5. We move up, that's +2. So this is how, or this is our answer. -4 plus 4 is 0. -5 plus 2 is -3. So 0 to -3. That's our translated G. So let's find out how we would have gotten our translated G using the graph. So we would have gotten from here, we move 4 units to the right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 units up, that's 1, 2. So our point would have been where our yellow dot is, which is this one. And that point is 0 because we start with our X, and our X says we are at 0, right? Our X says we are at 0 to -3. And it checks out that that's correct because both methods lead us to the same answer. So that brings us to the end of our video. Thank you so much guys for watching. See you in our next video as we work on translating shapes. So translating whole shapes. See you in our next video. Bye.